I just got a bunch of new brass, and whenever I get new brass, I always like to run a new Aztec coat on it. So I've got 3 pieces of fired brass, and I don't know, personally I like using once fired brass. You know, if you're going to use brass that's been turned, make sure you do the Aztec settings after you've turned the brass, all that kind of stuff. But I just find that I like doing it with once fired brass. So we're going to select the Aztec mode. I have their handheld, even though I have the AmpMate set up here, I have their handheld with a shell holder in it because it's just easier. And then we don't want to run, we want to come back over here to Analyze. And then we have to put in the pilot number. In my case, the pilot right here is a number 12. So we're going to enter 12. And then we're going to hit enter. And now it says start. So I'm putting a piece of brass in the shell holder. And then let me just zoom out a little here. And then we are going to just put it in there and hit start. It is generating a code. And then if we come back in here, you'll see 173 is the number that it's showing. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down. And then we want to select go back. And then we want to analyze again. Now let me knock this piece of brass out. And for those that haven't seen, it completely trashes your brass when you analyze it. So just know that you're not going to be able to use it. So we need to select pilot 12 again. Oop. So pilot 12. Let's load up another piece of brass, and I do 3 to get a good average. I think they say go up to 5, but I find 3 is enough to get me where I need to be. So again, we've just got it. So now it says 172. We're going to write that down, pull it out. I'm going to put another piece in. Let's go back and analyze again, and one more time. And start. Let's see what the third one is. Hopefully it's 172 or 173. $175, so okay. It happens. So now we are done with that. And now I have my 3 numbers, and so I am simply going to average them. And believe it or not, like, I don't really find it makes a difference when they're that close. You know, even 172 to 175, because I always go a little bit higher, so I actually lean on the high end of it. So 173 and 172 divided by 3. So 173 and change is, in fact, so that's going to be the average. And I now have burnt brass in here that I need to get rid of once it cools down. And so now I want to go back because I don't want to use the 175 setting. I want to go ahead and run because I've got 100 pieces of brass up here. So let me back out all the way here. And then I'm just going to come up a little for you guys here. So I'm going to use a new setting. Let me just show you real quick and then I'll come back out. So I want to do a new number. I'm going to put in 173. Okay. And then so there's 173, and then if you hold down the plus or hold down the minus, it'll let you sort of bias the heat on it. I don't know the exact technical reason, and honestly I haven't asked. I just know that it works for what I want to do. But what I do is I bump it up. There's a maximum of 6. So I'm on 173 plus 6. And so that's how I like running my brass, which is on the slightly hotter side. And that just happens to be based on my testing what I like. I would really recommend that if you have no experience with this, that you use the average of the settings that you get. But that's just sort of my little trick. And so now it knows where I want to be. So now let's come back out. And you can see over here I have, let me just move this a little for you. So I have my empty bucket. So I've got just a pan that I use to catch. And we are going to turn on the case feeder here. Get the first one loaded, and away we go. So I'm not going to bore you with doing all of them, but hopefully it just gives you a good idea of what I do when I have a new batch of brass. So hopefully it helps. Talk to you guys later.